Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first seventh grade math meeting of the 2020-2021 school year. My name is Forrest Walker, and I am the new seventh grade math course lead for this year, and I am a seventh grade math teacher at GVR. So a little bit about myself. I got married last year, and my wife is also a teacher at the GVR campus. I am a high school lacrosse coach when sports are happening usually, and before coming to the Strive Network, I taught at a inclusive special ed school called Reach Charter School here in Denver, Colorado as well. So let's go over our objectives for today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to review the arc of the year and just kind of go over the big picture of everything our seventh grade students are going to be learning in math this year. Then we're going to move into internalizing Module 1 and those standards that are covered in Module 1. Lastly, we're going to dive into doing some math, and we're going to work through the problems of our new end of module test and work through some key moments from the lessons that you're going to be teaching students throughout Module 1. Let's go over the arc of the year. So during this year, our students are going to be learning math material from 4 critical areas of focus. Those critical areas of focus are, first of all, proportional relationships. Second, they're going to go over operations with rational numbers and working with expressions in linear equations. Thirdly, we're going to be looking at scale drawings and informal geometric construction. Students will be working with 2 and 3 dimensional shapes to solve problems involving area, surface area, and volume. And lastly, students are going to be looking at drawing inferences from populations based on samples. So these 4 areas of focus, they're accessed through standards from 5 different domains. So each one of these domains has a set of standards that we are going to be looking at with students this year. The domains are, first of all, 7RP, ratios and proportional relationships, 7NS, those are number standards, 7EE, expressions and equations, 7G, which is all of our geometry standards, and 7SP, which is statistics and probability. Okay, so we have adapted our pacing calendar from last year to make it better fit our current situation with online school and kind of the uncertainty of last year. But we are still starting with Module 1, which is going to cover proportional relationships and ratios. So now let's talk about Module 1. In Module 1, students will be building upon what they learned about ratios and unit rate in 6th grade to explore proportional relationships and calculating constant proportionality. Students will work to be able to identify and explain when groups of ratios, tables, and graphs are proportional or not proportional. They'll be able to calculate unit rates and constant proportionalities using fractions, and they'll be able to represent these relationships using the y equals kx equation. So for those of you that are returning teachers, I want to go over some Module 1 updates and how it's going to be a little bit different than last year. Students will be taking an abbreviated IA from ANET, and that abbreviated IA focuses in on certain standards and cuts out some standards from Module 1. So as a result of this IA in our new schedule, we're going to focus on standards 7RPA1 and 7RPA2 and all the substandards that are part of that RPA2. So geometry standards and scale factor lessons have been removed from Module 1 for the sake of time and for the sake of learning. The only checkpoints in quarter 1 are going to be the end of mod assessment for Module 1, and then, of course, that abbreviated IA that will happen at the end of the quarter. Awesome. So now let's talk about the internalization process that we're about to begin for Module 1. So there's going to be 3 main parts that you're going to go through. First, you're going to go over the module overview and look at some key understandings. So you'll read the module overview and you'll kind of identify the big ideas and the essential questions for Module 1. Next, we will dive in the standards being covered in Module 1. And look what students will have to know and be able to do to show mastery of these standards. Lastly, we'll be working through the end of module test and the key moments from several lessons to understand the rigor that students are going to be evaluated at. Awesome. So I'm very excited for this year, and I know that things are very different right now, but I really appreciate everyone buying into this work from the beginning and giving it their all. Um, it's hard work and it can be very taxing, but it's what we have to do to support our students and where we're at right now. And so I really appreciate you guys doing your best from the beginning. Lastly, here's my contact information. If you have any trouble while going through this internalization process, if you're having questions about some of the changes that were made to Module 1, please reach out. You can email me, you can text me, you can call me, you can G-chat me. Anything like that will be great. But please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. And I hope that this internalization process goes well. All right. Thank you, guys.